Hello everyone and welcome back to Weighing In. I'm Joe Zedalis with Pat Lanni and Bill Evans, and we are previewing the 14 weight classes at the state wrestling tournament this weekend. Right now we're taking a look at 126 pounds, and guys, this is a weight class that has some really good kids in it, but I think we all feel like the number one and the number two seeds are just a little bit better. Pat, tell us what's gone on between Nick Raimo of Hanover Park and Shane Metzler of West Morris the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, two guys out of Morris County. And if you remember back to the Morris County tournament, there was the big matchup. Nick Raimo versus Shane Metzler is going to be an epic final. Turns out Nick Raimo turned his ankle a week before and missed the tournament. So that kind of set the stage for an awesome district final. Bout went to overtime. Slugfest back and forth, this move, that move. Raimo lands a 5-point move in overtime for the win. Fast forward to Region 3. It was a little more defensive. Metzler attacked, Raimo countered, two big takedowns for the 5-2 decision, and just a great rivalry between two nationally ranked guys, two guys that have been at the top of the weight class all season long.
We've been talking in this tournament about kids who have, gotten on the podium but not to the very top of it, and Metzler is one of those guys. Bills, give us your thoughts on some of the guys to watch in this bracket who could cause some damage.
Carmen Ferrante is the third seed here. Wrestling for Bergen Catholic, he's wrestling with a lot of state champs. Maybe he gets overshadowed a little bit, but only a junior, and he's been on the podium twice, and it would be an upset if he didn't get there a third time. Anthony Duca, who he would be seeded to face in the quarterfinals from Paulsboro. State qualifier as a sophomore, missed the tournament last year after spraining his ankle and losing in the regions. Has been pretty dominant all year. Had a little hiccup against Anthony Corizio in the state team tournament where he let a 4-1 lead slip. Otherwise, he'd probably be ranked a little higher. But he was the most outstanding wrestler at Region 7. And I think those two guys are definitely guys that are going to be, pretty high up on this podium, wrestling here in the quarters, and then potentially for third place again on Sunday.
Well, when I look at the bracket, guys, I think the bottom is a little bit easier than it is in the top. I mean, Metzler really doesn't get challenged until Saturday morning, when he might see Kyle Slendorn from Howell, who's a quality wrestler. But I think that road in the bottom bracket is a little easier in the top. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens on Friday night. And remember, folks, Friday night now is 2.5 hours longer than it was a year ago. It's 2 full rounds, and everybody will wrestle, and I think that's going to make a difference. Bill, what about your picks for this weight class?
Yeah, I'm sticking chalk here, and Nicky Raimo, as a freshman last year, came in, was one of the exciting stories. Lost in the state final. Obviously had another great summer, winning the national title in Fargo, and placed second at the Beast in the East. First at the Escape the Rock, where he was able to reverse the decision that he lost earlier. And I just think he's ready to win that state title, probably over Metzler. I think he's got enough to beat him for a third time.
Pat, who do you like in the final?
Ditto, Bill. I've seen that Metzler-Raimo battle, saw it at Regions, and I think they're just a little bit better than the rest of the field. Carmen Ferrante, very quality 3 seed, though. Have to say that. Picked against Raimo at Regions. It's clearly wrong. So I'm not going to do it again. Nick Raimo, you're my pick over Shane Metzler.
And I do think that Sunday morning is going to be great in this weight class. There's going to be some great consolation rounds. But in the final, I'm going to stick with you guys. I'm going Nicky Raimo over Shane Metzler. That's it for 126. I'm Joe Zedalis. We'll be right back with 132 pounds.